Hi folks, in this video today I'm going to show you how to create an FME server automation, or at least I'm going to try to because I've never done it before, but I'm hoping and expecting that it will be so simple that I don't have any problems doing it. And this is part of me learning how to do this so I can get my FME server certification, but I do have a practical project for this. This is for the FME City Guesser game. You may have played that at our last webinar. You may have played it at the user conference. I'm making it so it's available on the FME community, and it runs as a weekly contest. So you can do some city guessing during the week, and then at the end of Friday, it will calculate the score, see who's won, and reset everything, and carry on to the next week. So what I need to do at the end on the Friday is to run two tasks. One of them is to pick the winners, and the other one is to empty everything and start again. So I could have done a schedule, but because I've got two different components, I figure that's not really good. I could run one on a schedule and then 10 minutes later run the other one. But that's not, I don't think that's really the proper way to do it. I think the proper way to do it is with an automation, because you can run one after the other in an automation. So let's give this a start. Let's give this a go. Okay, create new. The one thing I'm not sure about is, do I need to create a schedule before I try and automate from it? Or can my automation include a schedule? So we're going to find out, because trigger event. Let's see, what have we got? Dropbox email. Oh, there we go. Server schedule initiated. Okay, so that looks like my automation's going to initiate this. Basic, I think, because it lets me. I don't know why repeat on interval when I can repeat there. But okay, I want to do a weekly repetition on a Friday. And I want to run it in Vancouver time, and the schedules must be configured according to the time zone of the server. Current server time, 5:26 p.m., which would put it in UTC time. Oops. Okay, made a mess of that. Not daily, weekly, Friday. Hey, so I'm just here to interrupt that guy and what he was saying. Basically, he goes off on a tangent talking about time zones for another 10 or 15 minutes, when really, when it comes down to it, I just want to run this workspace last thing on a Friday. So if I just put 2300 hours, then it runs 11 o'clock Friday evening, and that's all we needed to do, really. So don't worry about his ramblings, and I'll send you back to him now to show the rest of the project. But that looks good, and I don't need any output keys, I don't think. I just want it to run. Okay, it says what time it runs. That's fine. I don't really care too much about that because I've got timestampers in my workspace. Okay, so that runs. My next action is going to be to run the workspace. Run a workspace and run a dynamic. Are the difference? Why would it matter? I'm going to have to look that up at some point, but for now I just want to run a workspace. And it's a city guesser. And I want to run the current leaderboard. And the action is winners. I want to pick the winners at that point. So I've got this workspace, going back to that workspace, wherever it was. I've got this set up to do two different actions. So we've got my user parameters, and the action is either leaderboard or winners. So if I run this online, it'll return a HTML report and show me the leaderboard. But if I run it and I pick winners, and it won't return HTML. It will just, this is the bit that does that here. It says, okay, are we doing leaderboard or winners? If we do the leaderboard, it goes and creates a HTML report. And that is what we, this is the workspace I run here, current leaderboard. So it's the same workspace. It's just saying, showing the leaderboard, and it streams the HTML back. But once a week, I want to run it and pick winners. So we pick the winners at that point, put it into the into a database. So we've got a list of the winners, a record of it, and then we basically create a badge and award the user a badge on the community for being the winner. So anyway, so what I need to do is just say, okay, that goes into winners, and we want to pick the winner. I don't need an output key, I don't think. I don't really care what job queue it goes into. There's no reason it should fail that I can see. So we've got that. Okay, so I guess I hadn't really noticed that there's an X. So if the schedule failed for some reason, it would do something. So I could alert myself if it goes wrong. Okay. So the next action is run sort. I don't see dynamic what the difference is, but anyway, so again, it's a city guesser repository, and this time I want to run weekly cleanup. So what that does is the first one picks the winners. So I've got a database that's two database tables. One is the weekly table. Every time you play the city guesser, you add your results to the weekly table, and at the end of the week, we run the leaderboard, picking the winners from that weekly table, and then the next workspace will clean that up. It will empty the weekly table and copy all of the information into sort of a backup. So we've got a complete backup of everything that's taken place, but we've got one table that just records everything for the week. So we do the weekly cleanup like so, and I mean, I guess I can start sending emails or something, although I don't know if I've got email set up or anything. Yeah, see, I'd have to set a server up. I don't really want to do that right now. So, I mean, I could do something else, but I'm just going to assume it's going to work. Don't really want to do another action. So can I delete that? Delete that action. Delete that. Delete that. And I'm going to have to come back and check the logs to see if it works. I guess what I should really do is make sure that I really should set up notifications just in case it fails. But for me, right now, I'm pretty confident that those workspace will work. Look at that, attach annotation. So I can put something there like, pick winners. And this one is clean up weekly table. And that, I think, should be that. What do I do? Do I save it? Okay, let's hit the save button. Okay, so we'll call it city. Are we allowed spaces? Yeah, I guess we are. City guesser weekly cleanup, or weekly, let's call it weekly processes because it's doing two processes. What tags do we have? I don't think we have any tags. So I'm going to create a, is that how I create a tag? Help if I could spell. to do it there first. City gasser. Okay, it added it automatically. Click OK. It's saved. It's interesting. I don't know why I added those back in. I mean, can I hit the delete key? Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be useful to have them there. Oh, apparently, I have to have that. Okay, well, that's fine. Save again. Says global. We don't need global keys. Toggle grid. Okay, so it doesn't. It says start automation, so I'm going to start that and assume it is now running, but not running now because I don't want to run until tomorrow at 3 or 4 p.m., whatever it is. So I could probably check my job logs just to make sure it's not running anything now. Is anything running? What was completed? Current leaderboard 12:32. That was 7 minutes ago. Okay, so it's running that automation. It's going. It started. Yeah. Status. Not sure what the status is, but yeah. I mean, it seems to be fine. So there we go. I've created an automation, and tomorrow I will check and make sure it actually worked. We'll be able to tell if it worked because on the leaderboard, if it's worked, all of these will be empty and it will say no games played yet. And so that will be how that works. So yeah, I'll tune in tomorrow and I will try and record a video tomorrow so we can see if it worked. And maybe I'll save this video and add it to the end of this video and post it tomorrow. So, yeah. Anyway, that's how to create an automation. Pretty straightforward, I think. And I've got my fingers crossed that it does work. So, yeah. Hi, folks. Just following up with that automation, and it appears that there is a little bit of a snag issue in server for the builder that I'm using, which caused a problem. When I, just so you're aware, in case you see this happen, I set the time to start at 2300. I logged out and I logged back in again today, and it said the time was 1300 on my schedule. I'm like, okay, well that wasn't what I entered, so that was a bit of a problem. So I see that it's fixed, but it's not fixed in the build I have. So I'm going to have to do something different with this. And if you do come across that problem, the workaround is to make it a repeat on interval. Repeat every 1 week. Okay, so I want to start on Friday. So I'm looking at the local server time here, which now my server's in Montreal, so it should be 6:15 near enough. It's giving me the local time, but I'm not on local time. My server's on a different time zone, so I need to put this in. Anyway, let's see. So 18:15 Montreal time, where my server is. Click apply. Start automation. So hit apply, start automation. So that was my mistake. I assumed it was server time, but it may not be. It may be my local time. So 53 seconds, 54, 55. Let's see. If I go to the running jobs page, what am I going to get? Anything going to work here? Any second now, please. Do I have to refresh? Is it completed really quickly? Ah, it did. Wow. Wow, that runs fast on server when there's no interface in between. Okay, well finally you got it to work. So in theory now, if I refresh this, we should have no values in there. No games have been played yet. Last week's winners. So now I'm going to throw this open to anyone to use, and the way I'm going to do that is not automation, server app. Manage workspace apps, and it's a city guesser game. And right now you can't play it because you need an authentication. Turning that off. Click OK. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that to another browser. Where are we? I'm going to start up this browser and go to that address. And I can get in. I'm not logged in, but I can get in.